Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Proverbs 8 verse 23. Foreordained from everlasting. Answer. 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 19 to 20. But with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Isaiah 53 verse 10. God's will that he die for mankind. Answer. John chapter 18 verse 11. Then said Jesus unto Peter, Put up thy sword into the sheath, the cup which my Father hath given me, shall I not drink it? Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Malachi 3 verse 1. Sudden appearance at the temple. Answer. Mark chapter 11 verses 15 to 16. And they come to Jerusalem, and Jesus went into the temple, and began to cast out them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers, and the seats of them that sold doves. And would not suffer that any man should carry any vessel through the temple. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Zechariah 11 verse 10. Rejection causes God to remove protection. Answer. Luke chapter 19 verses 41 to 44. And when he was come near, he beheld the city, and wept over it, saying, If thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace. But now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Isaiah 53 verse 9. Buried in a rich man's grave. Answer. Matthew chapter 27 verse 57. When the even was come, there came a rich man of Arimathea, named Joseph, who also himself was Jesus' disciple. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Isaiah 42 verse 7. Blind eyes opened. Answer. John chapter 9 verses 25 to 38. He answered and said, Whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know, that, whereas I was blind, now I see. Then said they to him again, What did he to thee? How opened he thine eyes? He answered them, I have told you already, and ye did not hear, wherefore would ye hear it again? Will ye also be his disciples? Then they reviled him, and said, Thou art his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spake unto Moses, as for this fellow, we know not from whence he is. The man answered and said unto them, Why herein is a marvelous thing, that ye know not from whence he is, and yet he hath opened mine eyes. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and doeth his will, him he heareth. Since the world began was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, Thou wast altogether born in sins, and dost thou teach us? And they cast him out. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said unto him, Dost thou believe on the Son of God? He answered and said, Who is he, Lord, that I might believe on him? And Jesus said unto him, Thou hast both seen him, and it is he that talketh with thee. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Isaiah 53 verse 10. Resurrected and live forever. Answer. Romans chapter 6 verse 9. Knowing that Christ being raised from the dead dieth no more, death hath no more dominion over him. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Isaiah 26 verse 19. His power of resurrection predicted. Answer. Matthew chapter 27 verses 50 to 54. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And, behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now when the centurion, and they that were with him, watching Jesus, saw the earthquake, and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the Son of God. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Genesis 12 verse 7. The promise made to Abraham's seed. Answer. Galatians chapter 3 verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds, as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. Find the New Testament fulfillment in Jesus for this Old Testament prophecy, Genesis 5 verse 24. The bodily ascension to heaven illustrated. Answer. Mark chapter 16 verse 19. So then after the Lord had spoken unto them, he was received up into heaven, and sat on the right hand of God.